Hi, I'm Brian from Riverside Reptiles Education Center, and I'm very excited to announce that Turtle Haven is now open. We have an additional 4,000 square feet of outdoor turtle and tortoise habitat. We're open to the public 10 to 4, Tuesday through Sunday. Come check us out. We have large tortoises, Aldabra tortoises, spur-thighed tortoises, red-footed tortoises out here on display. We have a 5,000-gallon turtle pond right behind me full of sliders, painted turtles, box turtles, wood turtles, you name it, we got it out here. Also, there's a large pond at the end, snapping turtles. We have lots of plants, butterflies, all cool animals to check out. So again, Riverside Reptiles Education Center. We're located on 132 South Road in Enfield. We're open from Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 4. I hope to see you soon. Alright, so we're outside in Turtle Haven, and we have we're actually a beautiful 5,000 gallon turtle pond. And in the turtle pond, we have lots of turtles. Right in front of me, as you can see, are some turtles already begging for their food. We have some delicious turtle pellets right here for them. So the two species right in front of me are our red-eared sliders. They're both females, and red-eared sliders are probably the most commonly kept aquatic turtle in the United States and possibly in the world. They are native to southeastern and southwestern United States, and unfortunately they've become an invasive species in many parts of the world, including Connecticut. People would buy them in pet stores. These turtles can live 50 years plus, and they didn't know what to do with them after the kids they got them for the kids. Maybe kids left for college, now parents are stuck with these turtles. So unfortunately, what a lot of people did was they released them into the wild, and now they've become an established population here in Connecticut. So unfortunately we can't take all red-eared sliders, but we were able to take some and put them in our pond right here. Coming in closer right here, here's a painted turtle. This is a native species. Here she is. But you can see how much larger the red-eared sliders get than our native painted turtles. So what red-eared sliders do is they push out our native species, unfortunately. And Ghost, I'm not sure where Ghost is. She's over there looking at the other side. Come on, Ghost, over here. She's a gorgeous albino red-eared slider. She's blind in her left eye, so sometimes it takes a little while for her to come over. And we have a yellow-bellied slider right here. And also in this pond, you probably see swimming around, you have lots of native golden shiners that I stocked. And they're already actually breeding. There's little baby golden shiners swimming around here as well. Took you long enough. So Ghost is an albino red-eared slider. That's a normal looking red-eared slider. Now what's really fascinating about albino reptiles is that they have more than one pigment in their skin, unlike albino mammals. Mammals just have one pigment in their skin, melanin. So most albino mammals are mostly white, pure white. Reptiles, on the other hand, have more than one pigment in their skin. So she's missing all the melanin, all the dark pigments of a normally colored wild type red-eared slider, but you can see that she's not pure white, she's yellow. They still have yellow pigments, and you can see the red and orange behind her eyes. They still have the red and orange pigments as well. So albino reptiles aren't necessarily all white. She's actually also blind in her left eye. You can see right in her pupil, it's kind of cloudy. Many albino animals often have eyesight issues, but she gets along just fine. She finds her food. You can see she's a very healthy turtle. She always finds her food. There we go. As long as she doesn't accidentally find my fingers. So this adorable guy right here is a Florida softshell turtle. And softshell turtles, like their name implies, don't really have a hardened carapace. You can see it's almost like leather. These guys live in usually slow-moving rivers, swamps down in the southeastern United States. And they kind of bury themselves in the sand similar to a stingray. And they stick their little snorkel noses out of their hiding spot and wait for prey. They are ambush predators. These turtles can actually smell underwater. They do this by taking a big gulp of water and then they push it out through a hole in the roof of their mouth that goes out through their nasal cavity. And lining the nasal cavity are tiny receptors that translate the smells and the odors in the water to the turtle's brain. So these guys can smell underwater. So they'll wait for a tadpole or a fish or a crayfish to walk in front of them, reach out. They have very long necks, grab it, eat it, and stay hidden. This is our common snapping turtle. He's about 15 years old, and common snapping turtles can live for about 40 to 50 years, sometimes even a little bit longer in captivity. Connecticut's largest turtle, freshwater turtle. Sometimes you can find them in brackish water as well. And you can see that motion he's making, that snapping motion, that's how they get their name snapping turtle, not from their powerful jaws, although they are quite strong, but they get their name snapping turtle from the snapping motion they make from their neck when they're displeased, just like this one. He's not very happy with me right now. He's been in captivity pretty much his entire life. I hatched him out of an egg 15 years ago when we rescued a bunch of baby or snapping turtle eggs from a place where the female laid them at a construction site. We had to remove them, hatched them all out, released them all, except this guy. We held on to him for our educational programs. So he's about a little over 15 pounds right now. Snapping turtles can get fairly large. The record common snapping turtle was 90 pounds, which is insane. I can't imagine that 90-pound common snapping turtle. He was actually caught up in Canada. The further north you go, the larger the common snapping turtles get. More commonly here in Connecticut, they average around 20-25 pounds. That would be considered a very large snapping turtle, although I'm sure there's a few out there that are a little bit bigger as well. All right, we're going to put him in this pond because he's heavy. but I can't hold him too much longer, and he's a little grumpy this morning. So we're gonna put him back in his pond right now. And there we go. So you can come see the snapping turtle. And our pond turtles and our tortoises here in Turtle Haven is now open to the public. Riverside Reptiles Education Center is open from Tuesdays to Sundays from 10 to 4. So here's our eastern box turtle habitat. We have about 5 eastern box turtles in here, and I want to introduce you to them. Right here is one of our females. Gorgeous little turtle. Now, eastern box turtles are a protected species here in Connecticut. There's not as many as there used to be, primarily due to habitat destruction and habitat fragmentation. This little girl actually came from Fairfield County. Someone found her crossing the road, and when you find a turtle crossing the road, the best thing to do is help it across the road, but leave it in the general area. Don't take it home as a pet. And unfortunately, this is what happened to this box turtle. She was taken home as a pet and was actually kept as a water turtle. Thankfully, she was able to survive. Box turtles do enjoy soaking on a hot day, but they are not an aquatic species. And they need to be set up in a land and aquatic habitat so they can have access to both. But we ended up getting her. She's about 20-25 years old. Box turtles in the wild live for about 40 to 50 years, but in captivity there have actually been a few that hit the century mark. So we know she's a female by just looking at her eyes. If you can zoom in on her eyes or get a close look at her eyes, you can see that they're brown. Female box turtles have brown eyes. All right, I want to grab another female box turtle because the neat thing about box turtles is that the patterns on their shell are like our fingerprints. There's not one that is alike. So here's another female box turtle. You can see they have a different pattern on their carapace, which is the top part of their shell. Also, their plastrons are different colors as well. So although their pattern can be similar, they're all different from one another. And I have another female box turtle. Hold on, let me grab this one. This is one of my older female box turtles. You can see she's much larger. And her pattern is very unique. In fact, this one right here, the larger one, she's about 35 years old. She's one of my older turtles we have here at Riverside Reptiles. But these are all the same species, and they're all differently patterned. Now, box turtles get their name from what they do to protect themselves from their predators. When you're done putting things in a box, typically you close the box, put it away. So these guys have evolved a special plastron that enables them to close it if a predator tries to get them. So, quick lesson in turtle anatomy, shell anatomy. Top part right here, that's called the carapace. Bottom part here is the plastron. And this right here on each side, this is called the bridge of the shell. It connects the two pieces. So on box turtles, on their plastron, there's a line. This is a hinge. Underneath the bridge is a special muscle that actually controls the hinge, kind of like similar to like the springs on a garage door that open and close your garage door. So if a predator tries to get her, we'll see if we can get her to go inside her shell. She can close it up. And she can actually do the same thing to her back end. You can see her tail sticking out. But when I do it to the back end, her front end pops out again. She's super used to people. She's not really scared of us. She knows we're not predators. But that's how box turtles protect themselves from their predators. Very awesome and interesting adaptation. So I do have one male box turtle in here. Male box turtles are very territorial, and although you can keep several in a large enclosure, as long as you have a lot of visual barriers so they can't see each other, eventually, you know, they'll fight it out a little bit and then they'll carry on with their lives. But we typically just keep one male box turtle in a group of female box turtles, because our enclosure, although it's fairly large, it's about 8 by, I would say 8 by 12, 8 by 14. We just have one guy in here. He's right here. He's absolutely gorgeous head pattern. You can see he's all a little muddy today. Let's see if we can clean him up a little bit. There we go. He's got a gorgeous head pattern. Fairly dark shell. And you can see his eyes are red. Male box turtles have bright red eyes. And this guy has a similar story with this female, or the other female I was showing you. A family from Connecticut was visiting somewhere down south, and they were driving through New Jersey, and they saw a turtle crossing their road, and they thought, wow, this is a great opportunity for us to take this turtle out of the wild, bring it home, and keep it as a pet. Obviously it didn't work out. They didn't know how to take care of a turtle, so I ended up with it. So again, you see a turtle in the wild, watch them, enjoy them, take lots and lots of pictures, cherish the moment, but leave the turtle in the wild. Because when you take turtles out of the wild, especially females, you're not just taking one turtle out of the wild, you're taking out all their potential offspring as well. But here's a great look at a male and female eastern box turtle. So I'm in our large tortoise enclosure, and standing on my foot right here is Tank, our large African spurred tortoise, also known as a sulcata tortoise. They are from sub-Saharan Africa, and they're the third largest species of tortoise in the world. Large males can get over 150 pounds. So Tank right here, you can see he's enjoying some morning grass. He's over 50 years old, and he weighs about 65 to 70 pounds. Also in this enclosure, being a little camera shy, he's completely turned his face away from us. There's Leo, our larger Aldabra tortoise. He's about 65 to 70 pounds as well. And Aldabra tortoises are the second largest species of tortoise in the world. Large males can get over 500 pounds. Leo is still a teenager. He's only about 18 years old. He still has a lot of growing to do. And then over here, eating some morning grass as well, is Fig. Fig is our newest addition. Fig is only about 3-4 years old. And Fig is also an Aldabra tortoise. He's growing really quickly. So we have a huge, expansive outdoor enclosure for our large tortoises. We planted a lot of native grasses in here, which they enjoy. There's a little pool in there they can soak on warm weather when it's really hot out, like a day like today. And they absolutely love it outside. Let's see if we can get Leo to come out a little bit. Of course, Tank, he always likes to steal the show. and they can feel this as well. It's like if someone touches your fingernail with a foreign object, you can feel the pressure. So tortoises, especially large tortoises, really enjoy a good shell scratch. You can see he's enjoying his tortoise massage. Well, that was all for today. Thanks for watching. Please tune in this summer. We're going to be posting a lot more videos. Please visit us at 132 South Road, Enfield, Connecticut, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, RiversideReptilesEducationCenter.com.